I still can't wrap my head around the hate the Cavaliers got for trading, basically Darius Garland straight up for James Harden. Because, yeah, James Harden is 10 years older, but the next 2-3 years, which is the Cavaliers' window for a championship, James Harden at 36 years of age is a better fit and gives the Cavaliers a better chance for a championship. And people might be saying, oh, no, man, James Harden never performs in the playoffs, whatnot. He took the Golden State Warriors, with KD and everybody, right? Prime Warriors to 7 games. And people are going to be like, oh, yeah, but he had Chris Paul. Chris Paul got hurt for 6 and 7. If it wasn't for that, they definitely go to the finals. He literally had a starting point guard get hurt. And then, yeah, James Harden, you're going to be like, oh, all the pressure was on him. Bro had PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, it was Austin Rivers, Clint Capella, this is Trevor Ariza. There's tons of 3-and-D guys. The offense really flowed, through him. But at the same time, enough of that. But I'm just saying, James Harden, to me, he's a former MVP. He's a spontaneous guard and is going to fit a lot better with Donovan Mitchell. Him and Garland just couldn't get along. They're two of the same kind of guards, two small guards at the 1 and 2, which is never going to work. But Mitchell and Harden definitely works. And that's why, the odds went from literally plus 3,000 to plus 1,200 because it's a substantial upgrade for this season. And look at this. Darius Garland, where he, belongs here in his natural habitat in street clothes. People like to say street clothes Davis. Well, this is the point guard version. Darius Garland at 26 years of age has fallen off. Yes, he's been on the All-Star team twice, but ever since then, he has become a shell of himself, and he never fit with Donovan Mitchell. And then at 26 years of age, he just can't stay on the court. Whatever you can say about James Harden, he's always on the court, always available. You might say he's an inefficient scorer, but I'd rather have an inefficient scorer who's healthy than Darius Garland, who's never on the court, never available, while he's getting like a tons of money. It made no sense. And Clippers, be ready to have tons of pictures of Darius Garland on the bench vibing, because that is what he does best, vibe on the bench in street clothes. Now, ever since Harden became a Cav, they've played the Kings and Denver in those respective towns, and he has averaged 22.5 points, 6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 1.5 blocks, averaging 48, 47, and 100% from the free throw line, and they are 2-0 against those teams, and the Denver Nuggets are an extremely good team. Kings not so much, but the Nuggets are good, and honestly, the Cavs offense really flourished against Denver, and that was they had a little comeback in the fourth quarter. They used Jared Allen, in an amazing way, really throwing him lobs, him and Mitchell. And I was just like, yeah, this is a flowing offense. And it's a substantial upgrade from what I was seeing a week ago with James Harden in the lineup. So, he's one of the most disrespected players for no reason. And I've never had a problem with James Harden when he was in Houston. I've rooted for him because I hated the Warriors when he was on the Rockets. And honestly, injuries have been the reason why he doesn't have a championship to his name. Not him. It's injuries around him. Now, look at the standings now. The Cavs are now 9-1. They are on fire. They're looking at the Knicks with 1 game behind, and they're looking at Boston, who they're like a game and a half or 2 games behind. And the Cavaliers, if these 2 other teams don't watch out, could very much overcome them. And I'm really going to put my integrity on the line and say the Cavaliers will finish at the number 2 seed. Detroit's going to be the number 1 seed no matter what. But the Cavaliers, I could really see jump to the 2 seed. Apparently, Jason Tatum might not return this season, even though he's kind of good to go. But it seems like he has more of a message to prove to Jaylen Brown that that they need him. It seems like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown don't see eye to eye. And he might just let Jaylen Brown play the whole season without him and see how far he gets, because they did win a championship together. And Tatum was a big reason for that. But for some reason, these 2 stars just don't see eye to eye, oddly. But New York, on the other hand, they're a tough team. But I just see the Cavaliers with this new look going to be hard to figure it out for teams in the East. And they are going to play some easy teams. They're going to play the Nets. They're going to play the Wizards, who don't really want to win. These are 2 not so great teams, and if they win those 2 games and Boston and New York, drop a game or 2, the Cavaliers could very well be in the 2 seed in a week. So watch out for that, because they are literally staring them down. like this. So apologies for anybody disrespecting the Harden trade. They're more than welcome down in the comments below because I've backed this trade since day one. I said getting rid of Darius Garland is a phenomenal thing, and bringing in James Harden instead is a great thing. Maybe not long term, but for this championship window, definitely improves our chances 100%.